In just 9 days, this radio station will become KFRC FM San Francisco.
March 1991.
Music, pre-recorded music, is as popular as ever, as money-making a business as ever. Music is a consistent companion and source of entertainment. Music pours forth from AM radio, FM radio, broadcast television, cable television, in the home, in the car, in the place of business, on personal stereos that fit in your palm or on your head, and even aboard the space shuttle. Pre-recorded music is sold in a variety of formats: cassette tape, compact disc, digital audio tape, and even, occasionally, vinyl phonograph records.
1886.
Two assistants of American inventor Thomas A. Edison develop a means of reproducing archived sound. A crude wax cylinder bears impressions of sound waves, which are reproduced by passing a needle attached to a horn over the surface of the cylinder. The phonograph has been born and is known in its infancy as the graphophone.
1895.
Italian inventor Guglielmo Marconi develops wireless communication. Sound may be originated in one spot, and miles away may be simultaneously heard by means of another new invention. And now, radio has been born.
1920.
Westinghouse-owned KDKA in Pittsburgh is the first regularly scheduled commercial radio station granted call letters by the Department of Commerce, having debuted with the now famous broadcast of election results in the presidential race between Warren Harding and James Cox.
This is KDKA of the Westinghouse Electric and Manufacturing Company in East Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
KDKA and Westinghouse go on to distinguish themselves as conscientious, committed broadcasters through the remainder of the century.
The 1940s.
America's free enterprise system and the improving technology of radio have combined to create a system of information distribution, entertainment, and advertising. Newscasts inform. Entertainment programs entertain while listeners laugh or are thrilled or enjoy music. And there are commercials to stimulate consumers to consume. Marconi's experiment becomes big, influential business, supporting the sale of soft drinks and cookies and shirts and detergents and automobiles. And radio distinguishes itself, presenting mind pictures of the war of the day.
Hello, America. This is Edward Murrow speaking from London. At the moment, everything is quiet. For reasons of national as well as personal security, I am unable to tell you the exact location from which I'm speaking.
World War II. The leading names of the day?
Oh, George, we've got company.
George Burns and Gracie Allen.
This telegram from Jack Benny was short, but sweet. Just 3 words. Congratulations, Jack.
What was the third word?
Collect.
Arthur Godfrey, Jack Benny.
The Jack Benny Program.
Just a minute. Hey, say, you. Have you ever played this number before, Bub?
I can't understand it. I've never played so poorly.
Oh, cheer up, Jack. Sure you have.
The Guiding Light, the Lone Ranger.
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo silver. The Lone Ranger.
Murrow and Severide.
The 1950s.
Post-war bliss and affluence prevail, and Americans buy a brand new toy: television, sound with pictures. The TV system of entertaining, informing, and advertising takes hold and grows like topsy. Americans are mesmerized by the images spewing from their televisions.
One of these days, pow!
Ralph. Baby, you're the greatest.
Among the stars of the new television age, George Burns and Gracie Allen, Jack Benny, Arthur Godfrey, The Guiding Light, The Lone Ranger, Murrow, and Severide. Many pronounce the medium of radio dead.
Who is the tall, dark stranger there? Maverick is the name.
And while Americans are riveted to the cop shows and cowboy shows, to the game shows and variety shows, new stars and new town criers of the new age become popular, like Lucy and Desi.
Hello. This is Lucy.
Uncle Milty, Ed Sullivan, Douglas Edwards, and Walter Cronkite. Television grows and flourishes, and radio is written off. But a wonderfully American thing happens. The radio business, the art form, reinvents itself. The gaps between network radio shows are filled by local announcers playing phonograph records. The announcers are known as disc jockeys. Who knows exactly what served as the impetus for the resurrection and resurgence of radio? Was radio revived by Memphis disc jockey Dewey Phillips when he spun some magic at 45 RPMs playing a new record by an unknown truck driver from Tupelo, Mississippi, named Elvis Aaron Presley?
Well, since my baby left me, well, I found a new place to dwell. Well, it's down at the end of Lonely Street, that Heartbreak Hotel where I'll be just so lonely, baby. Well, I'm so lonely. I'll be just so lonely I could die. You know I can be found sitting home all alone. If you can't come around, at least please tell the phone. Don't be cruel to who heart is true. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, you're crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine.
Perhaps it happened as songs performed by black artists for black audiences listening to black radio stations began to be re-recorded by white artists for white audiences listening to white radio stations, like Ain't That a Shame, first by Fats Domino.
You made me cry when you said goodbye. Ain't that a shame? My tears feel like rain.
Then by Pat Boone.
You made me cry when you said goodbye. Ain't that a shame? My tears fell like rain.
Ultimately, all the music got all mixed up and played for all the kids all the time, regardless of anyone's skin tone. A leader of the integration of music movement on radio, Cleveland and New York DJ Alan Freed.
Now, once again, here's Alan Freed. Thank you, Stan Burns. And now, here we go. The next section of our rock and roll party.
Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yes, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say you're gonna leave. You know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die.
Darling, you send me. I know you send me. Darling, you send me. Honest you do, honest you do, honest you do. Whoa.
Wake up, little Susie, wake up. Wake up, little Susie, wake up.
Take out the papers and the trash, or you don't get no spending cash. If you don't scrub that kitchen floor, you ain't gonna rock and roll no more. Yakety yak!
Don't talk back.
Or was the true driving force the accident in Omaha? Legend has it that young radio tycoons Gordon McClendon and Todd Storrs were sitting in a bar or coffee shop discussing how to expand the size of their audiences when they noticed that despite the availability of dozens and dozens of songs on the jukebox, the waitress continued to spend her hard-earned tips on a select few songs, which she played repeatedly. And the obvious question? Would the same approach work on the radio? Take the most popular songs, say 40 or so, and play them over and over again so people can hear their few favorites all the time.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight.
Well, all I want is party doll. Come along with me when I'm feeling wild. To be ever loving, true and fair. To run her fingers through my hair.
Going to Kansas City, here I come. Going to Kansas City, here I come.
Spin those records.
Son of a gun, it works! Coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, top 40 radio stations pop up all over America, serving young people with music and an attitude their parents simply could not comprehend.
On the Don Schaefer program, it's mostly music, and here's Frogman with the poof.
Let's have less poof and more proof.
This is WNEW New York AM and FM. Pete Myers saying thank you so much for listening.
And now, live from the Victory Road Armory in Dorchester, the WCOP Pepsi Dance Party.
This is Bill Edmonds here in New York City, and I have on the phone with me General Charles de Gaulle in France.
Monsieur, can you tell me who I am speaking to?
My name is Bill Edmonds, and I'm one of the Minutemen here at WMGM.
Oh, I see. Well, of course, everybody knows that the best radio station in New York is WINS.
The Dick Clayton Show on WIL Radio.
From the entertainment capital of Mid-America.
Here we go on the Mike Phillips Show, now 5 minutes after 12 noon. From Kissin to Sound in Portland.
I want the 700-foot mountain of whipped cream to roll into Lake Michigan, which has been drained and filled with hot chocolate.
Still, listen to Chubby Checkers Twist. That's a golden grabber on 1410, the new WPOP. This do be the Gentleman Jerry Gordon program. It's 23 minutes past 1.
Charlie Shue.
This is Charlie Shue, and I've got a song for you. Mickey and Sylvie, everybody.
Big Ways, Carolina's friendly giant, now on the air around the clock, 24 hours every day, every night.
WFIL, temperature 56. Your little bitty buddy here with a Quaker City Music Quake on WFIL.
Merry Christmas, everybody, from Joe O'Brien, Harry Harrison, Jack Spector, Dandy Dan, Gary Stevens, Dean Anthony, and the Big Bad Bear.
They said it'd never last, and if it did, it might propel our nation's youth to insanity and dementia. Vulgar music, played in an environment cheapened by gas horns and whistles and jingles and gongs and gimmicks and contests, and music sure to grow hair on young people's palms.
As I walk along, I wonder what went wrong with our love, although it was so strong.
The next winter's coming your way to Ginsburg to go number 9 sound. Beach Boys, Little Girl That I Once Knew.
$1 million weekend.
Most music Miami is WQAM. Hello there, music lovers. Welcome back. It's hour number 4 of the Rick Shaw Show on a Friday night.
KFRC, San Francisco, swinging all night on night one. Come on, baby, let's do that twist. Come on, baby, let's do that twist. Take me by my little hand and go like this. Music that counts. Larry Justice.
This is the Joey Reynolds Show at WKBW. 15 minutes until 9.
What are the good things about Pittsburgh?
The early 60s.
Post-war Brit babies with names like Jagger, Clark, Lennon, Asher, McCartney, and Richard have been secretly listening to American imports by the likes of Chuck Berry, Muddy Waters, and Little Richard, preparing to bust loose with yet another invasion of the colonies by the British.
Good golly, Miss Molly, sure like the ball. Good golly, Miss Molly, sure like the ball. Go, go.
More on that in a moment. Meanwhile, back in Dallas, Buffalo, San Antonio, Louisville, Detroit, and Chicago, the man McClendon proves to be more than a one-trick pony. In his long and inspired career, he invents Top 40 radio and writes unique promotional concept after unique promotional concept, sending listeners digging up yards in search of hidden treasure, hiring flagpole sitters, staging dance marathons, and coaching some of the most compelling performers ever to grace a microphone.
I got a joke this morning.
Oh, no, forget it, buddy. We're too rushed today. No, we got too many things to do. Thank you very much, but we just 71 degrees is the current temperature.
I got a good joke, but the audience like to hear a joke this morning?
Forget it. Now, please. Please.
Now listen, audience, every time you do that, you throw us completely off schedule. This fink comes in here every morning and stands up in the audience and wants to tell jokes. Now,
I think it would be best not to argue. Let's just let him tell it quickly and get it over with. It'll fall on its face as it always does. What's the joke?
Every day, ever since I started coming down here in the morning, I see this woman on the side of the road, on the front lawn of her house, and she's hitting her son over the head with a loaf of bread.
Every day you drive by and a woman is hitting her son over the head with a loaf of bread.
That's right. And this morning, as I was driving in, I noticed that she was hitting him over the head with a piece of cake.
With a piece of cake?
Yeah, and so I stopped and I went over and I said, every morning you hit your son over the head with a loaf of bread, and this morning you hit him over the head with a loaf of cake. How come? She said, it's because today's his birthday.
McClendon also authors All News Radio, All Classified Ads Radio, elevates the radio editorial to new heights, pioneers the world's first #1 top 40 music station on the FM band, and creates yet another new kind of radio station. A station playing good music for adults, easy listening, with low-profile announcers. Beautiful music radio was born right here in the Bay Area on McClendon's KABL. Cable, first on AM, then on FM too.
I left my heart in San Francisco, high on a hill. It calls to me.
And in the meantime, in the battle for the hearts and ears of Bay Area youth, the lead changes hands as the art form evolves. And they're off! Wonderful KLBY in the lead. Here comes KYA pulling up on the outside. Uh-oh! Here comes KEWB, ridden by disc jockeys Gary Owens, Casey Kasem, and Earl Pearl McDaniel. KFRC enters the top 40 race. Whoops! KFRC drops out. KYA's back in the lead again, featuring Big Daddy Tom Donahue. Oh, look, ladies and gentlemen! KEWB is sold right in the middle of the race for the higher Hooper ratings, and they put the old mare out to pasture, changing her call letters to KNEW.
It's my party and I'll cry if I want to, cry if I want to, cry if I want to. You would cry too if it happened to you.
1964. Another undeniable pan-cultural event is the sudden explosion of yet another cycle of cacophonous, obnoxious, and downright irreverent music. Maybe even worse than the music that came before.
Deep in my heart, I know it, but it's so hard to show it, cause it's easier said than done. Two girls for every boy.
American artists are about to have their apple carts upset by boys wearing girls' haircuts. From prim, proper, sophisticated, tasteful, appropriate, jolly old England.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you something I think you'll understand. And I say that something I wanna hold your hand, because I used to love them, but it's all over now. I don't care too much for money, money can buy me love.
1966. Here at home in the Bay Area, a new radio sound comes to town. It's different. The emphasis is not on the DJ, but the music. There's more of it.
More music.
It's KFRC, and it takes the Bay Area by storm.
This is the parade of hits from KFRC and KFRC FM San Francisco. And the hits just keep coming. Find that chick that won't play games behind you. Neil Diamond, Solitary Man. Big hit record on the Big 610 KFRC. This is Royce Johnson. It's 611 at KFRC. 74 beautiful dancing degrees.
KFRC. KFRC.
9:37 on the Christmas Eve, KFRC Christmas time. Dale Norman Hill. Honey child, you is nice. I love you and all that other stuff. This is Martha and the Vandellas.
On KFRC and KFRC FM San Francisco, this is Robert W. Scholes with the news at 6.
1967. Former KYA DJ Tom Donahue, along with a bunch of top 40 dropout DJs, creates free-form radio at KMPX on a virtually unoccupied radio band, FM.
And this is Tom Donahue, and I'm here to play phonograph records.
The time is perfect for a countercultural musical movement. The Summer of Love gives birth to yet another new shade of music that continues to proliferate long after Labor Day. once again, American music.
Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? Excuse me while I kiss the sky. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire.
Regardless of the musical mode, whatever the current trend or influence, whether the music is about peace, love, war, or drugs, the musical leader continues to be KFRC, the Big 610.
I bet you're wondering how I knew I've chosen hands to make me try to get together, try to love one another right now. Mama told me not to come. Mama told me not to come. Wake up, Maggie, I think I got something to say to you. Superstition ain't the greatest.
1973. And a new guy comes to town to wake people up on the radio. Never been anybody like him before, never will be anybody like him again. Dr. Donald D. Rose.
All hits, all the time. KFRC San Francisco. Well, it's 6 o'clock from the city. This is the doctor, Dr. Don Rose. The first thing I have to do this morning is pour myself a cup of coffee. Well, you know, new guy in town, and I've got to be sharp, and I've got to do things right. After all, I came out here all the way from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, just like some of the earliest settlers. That cup of coffee. Little fuller, that's it. Yeah, that's it. On the Don Rose Show, we pour a big cup of coffee. 7:07 and Dr. Don Rose. And actually, if you're contemplating marriage, new statistics show that marriage is one of the best preventatives against suicide, believe it or not. Of course, in all fairness, suicide is one of the best preventatives against marriage, too. Right?
You got a big mouth.
Oh, and my dad, you know the water pick system for cutting down on smoking, you know, they get to give you a bigger filler all the time.
Oh, is that how it works?
Finally, your lungs pop, you know.
Filled with water?
Yeah, they have a new laxative out by Water Pick.
Oh, I can't imagine.
It's called 10 Steps at a Time.
10,000 people left San Francisco last year.
What? Well, wait a minute. We didn't say goodbye to us.
I know.
Bye. Have a good trip.
Well, they're listening to you.
Oh,
they're in the suburbs.
Oh, hey, come back.
Many of them,
make that 10,001.
Still 1973. Good news. Americans withdraw from Vietnam. Bad news. Popular music pretty much loses all its teeth and tempestuousness. No longer copying an angry attitude. Music approaches milquetoast.
If I could save time in a bottle, sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Love will keep us together. Think of me, babe, whenever.
1977. Another new influence rolls around, and Lord help us. To really be hip, a guy has to wear polyester suits with shirts open to the navel and dance like John Travolta.
Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man. No time to turn it upside down. Freak out. You freak. Say she. Freak out.
1981. Over half the radio audience now listens to FM. And MTV, music television, signs on the air. And this time the sound is important, but maybe not as important as the pictures, as the video age of music comes alive, spawning a decade of mostly unremarkable music.
Who can it be knocking at my door? Go away. Don't come down here no more. Don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me? Oh, to the sound of lost and found, and I'm hungry like a wolf. Papa, don't breathe. I'm in trouble. Papa, don't breathe.
1986. After 20 years as the Bay Area's leading youthful music station, the AM KFRC evolves again, becoming Magic 61.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Thing that's known as romance is wonderful, wonderful in every way, so they say.
January 1991. The Arbitron Company radio ratings report that KFRC, Magic 61, is again the Bay Area's #1 music radio station. March 2nd, 1991. The Bay Area radio station at 99.7 FM is rechristened KFRC FM, and a new page of the Bay Area music and radio
change. We're hopeful for the future, a peaceful future. With any luck at all, a rainy future. And we set our house in order, assembling the components of a radio station for the future by looking to the past. We hope you're enjoying our semi-academic review of the evolution of pop music on the radio and in the Bay Area. If you are, perhaps you'll tell a friend. Feel free to tape record our free programming. We're working on a radio station that will be listened to by the kind of people who are likely to have listened to our weekend special. Thoughtful people, intelligent people, people with solid values and ideals. And if you're one of those, we hope you'll be listening for a new radio station at this spot on the dial soon. In moments, we recycle this weekend's special program. Soon, we recycle the radio station. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you listening. This weekend's special programming may not be for everyone. Some will say it's self-indulgent radio people putting on a show for other radio people. There's more than a grain of truth to that. However, media, music, and radio has long since become a part of the fabric of American life and society. And occasionally, it's good to reflect on how we got to the point at which we have arrived. We're grateful that you've chosen to share our moments of reflection with us. And if you choose to tell a friend, all the better. We understand you have a mind-boggling selection of different stations from which to choose, and we value the time you've spent with us. In moments, we recycle this weekend's special program. Soon, we recycle the radio station.